after missing a couple of games, has to be feel pretty good, especially in the fourth quarter when it was kind of getting a little bit chaotic.
Absolutely, especially for her first game back, she came out and she was very efficient from the field, was able to get downhill and facilitate for us and help us on the defensive end too, but especially facilitating our offense and hit a couple of big free throws for us as well.
You guys had a big lead and it was kind of slipping away. What did you do to kind of change what they were doing? Did you change anything defensively, or what did you do?
I think one thing we did, we started turning up some pressure in the, whenever we were able to go on that about 18-point run. I thought our defensive pressure stepped it up, and we were able to translate that into some buckets early within that little bit of a run. And so it kind of gave us our momentum back. Obviously, we had a lead at halftime, but then we let it slip away in the third. We weren't as efficient or as aggressive, but we were able to stretch it back out just a little bit.
You guys forced 26 turnovers tonight, but had 21 turnovers. So.
You're right, too many.
So what do you need to do to tighten that up?
I think, we had a couple of charges, so I think body control is going to be huge. I think we had about 5 or 6 offensive charges, so we got to take care of that. And then there were a few times when we'd get a good steal and we would give it right back to them instead of really forcing the issue and scoring when we had a couple of those 2-on-1 situations down the stretch. And then, a few times there were a couple of turnovers in transition. We were really trying to push it and throw it ahead. A couple of those turnovers I could probably live with a little bit, but we got to clean it up and know when to make those passes and when to take that extra dribble. So I think just a little bit better decision-making is going to be key.
13 to 24 on layups, that's something you got to get better on too. So what do you have to do to get better on that?
I think just focus. We have to make sure that we're finishing at the rim. Sometimes it's point blank and we take a long step, or we try to go to the opposite side when it's just an easy putback, and we just got to make those decisions to quick jump people. And we can't be worried about if they're going to be there, if they're not. We got to quick jump and we got to go up and just be efficient and score.
Last one I have for you. Bonnie had 7 assists tonight, but one of them while you were sitting on the floor. Talk about that.
Me?
Either one.
I was just on the floor, saw Marie open, just chucked it, and went in.
Hey, you can make a good pass from anywhere, right?
Coach, one more game before the Christmas break. I guess, where's the focus for you now with just one game in an 11-day period?
I think the biggest thing is just finishing. We have to, I keep reminding them, they're done with finals. They don't have to worry about going to class and taking tests right now, so they really have to be honed in on these next 48 hours of prep, and then the 40-minute opportunity they have on Saturday to finish the stretch prior to a short break. So just being where their feet are, being very intentional, and making sure we're focused, and we finish.
And obviously you weren't here last year, but you guys have already matched the win total from last year. I know it's early, but are you seeing what you want to see so far in this team, not just in wins and losses, but just how you guys are developing the culture here?
Yeah, I really think our culture, they play really hard. Our faith, family, and fearless foundation is being implemented. I think the buy-in is there. I think they're really starting to buy in. I think, obviously Emily and Taleyah coming over has been a huge asset. Bonnie has really been a huge splash as a true freshman in Harmony. I mean, I could go on and on about a lot of players on my team right now, but the fact that they're buying in, they're playing really hard. We just got to execute better. We obviously, as the head coach, it's always my job to be the critiquer, and there's always going to be something that we can improve on. But at the end of the day, we're laying that foundation, and we have a lot to build on, and we're excited about finishing the semester and moving on into SEC play.
Taleyah, for you, just how good did it feel to be back on the court after missing the past couple games?
It's felt great. It just felt like normal to me. It was a little odd being out for 2 games. I haven't had that in a while. So, but it felt great. It just felt natural, and I was ready to, come out there and play with my teammates again.
Coach kind of mentioned it. UMKC got within 5 there with about 5 minutes to go. What allowed them to get that close, and how are you guys able to deny them that comeback attempt?
Yeah, I think just the offensive rebounds that they got, and then they made some good shots, and then we just had some lapses where we weren't defending like we were supposed to. So they were able to capitalize on that. But I think that we also turned up the pressure and was pushing the ball, and they were getting tired, and we was able to capitalize on that.
Bonnie, you're getting pretty close to triple doubles. You had another double today. Does the triple double? Do you ever think about that? Do you ever look at the stats that intensely?
Nah, not really. But I have been working a lot on like sharing the ball as of recently, like in trainings and stuff, just trying to find the open man. But no, not really taking notice.
As an Australian, were there any jokes about you playing the Roos tonight?
Oh my goodness. Yeah, there was a couple AI photos chucked in the group chat this morning. Me kicking some kangaroos or something like that. So yeah, nah, there was.
That's all.
Bonnie, 16 rebounds tonight. Is that a season high? Career high. Good deal. You're not the tallest girl out there, but it seems like you're always around the ball. What is it about rebounding, and that makes you so successful at it? Do you just judge the way the ball's going to come off the rim, or what is it?
Yeah, I guess I just crash every time and just try and put my body in positions where, I don't know, I'm going to get the ball. I try and read it off the rim as well, but yeah, I just crash every time, really.
What about the contact in there? Is that, I mean, you got to be getting banged up a little bit in there.
Yeah, I'm on the floor a lot of the game, but yeah, no, I'm just trying to crash the boards and just do what I can on the court.
Rebounding is something I think, Coach, you would back this up. This is something, rebounding is about desire. It's about wanting to get the ball. Do you kind of just take it personal, like every ball that goes up is yours?
Yeah, I've said it a few times, but see ball, get ball. I want the ball, and yeah, I'm just going to try and make an impact wherever I can.
Taleyah, going through concussion protocol, how difficult was that, and kind of what were some of the things that you had to do to kind of get through that protocol?
Yeah, I had to do some extra workouts and just little things, a bunch of testing to make sure that I was good. But, I think that was great for my body to recover and be ready for SEC play.
When you're going through concussion protocol, do you ever want to kind of say maybe not the truth and say, oh, I feel great? Maybe you don't.
That ran through my mind a few times, but, I think my body's more important to tell the truth than, not just trying to force it. You know what I'm saying?
It's got to be difficult to set out like that. I know you want to be on the floor and play. So how, trying to be patient and make sure all the I's are dotted and T's are crossed, how difficult is that for somebody who wants to be on the floor like you do?
Yeah, I just kind of had a positive mindset about it. Luckily that week we had a whole week of not playing a game, so it was able to have some good rest, and I wasn't too worried about it. I knew that I would be ready to come back.
Oh, I was just going to say, you were talking to us before. Do you want to give a shout out to your son?
Yeah, it's Titus's 10th birthday, so he had a game in Rogers. I'm going to try to take him to dinner. It'll be a little late, but I'm pretty sure he won. He said he cooked, so I can't wait to hear all the details.